Hey everybody, to the 6th grade and 7th grade classes. We are going to use my GoPro and my wood glue and my blocks that I brought home from school. I'm going to use the model that I brought home from school. This is basically with one minor sort of mistake that I might have forgot, or I might have grabbed the wrong one from school. This is basically the same thing as the example that's inside the packet. I'm gonna put this GoPro on my head and use the blocks that I brought home to show you the best way to take the modeling cube that we've already created and create the blocks, take it apart and create the blocks one by one, and we'll see how it goes. And this is kind of my first time ever trying to record while sitting in a chair at my house with my knee just recently worked on. Right now I won't show you the entire thing, but I have a pretty good sized brace on my leg right now. I'm not supposed to bend it for a little while. I'm supposed to start physical therapy tomorrow. I have to have my brace on all the time, and it should be interesting. So we'll see how this goes. Need to get myself set up. I have a blanket on because I have ice packs underneath and above my knee because I'm trying to keep it cold, to keep the swelling down. But here's my piece, as you saw in the previous videos that we've had to this, and in the example on the map, the example map that we have. The white piece, black piece, green piece, purple piece, and red piece are all in here. The only modification and change that happened is that the center of this block is supposed to be red, and I'm missing one of the red pieces. So we'll just have to add that on as I go to glue it. But I'm trying to get this apart without changing the shape of these. That's one of the most important things you're going to have to do, is that once you have them assembled and put together, you need to try to take them apart so that they don't, so it doesn't change the shape of them. And then I would do one piece at a time. I wouldn't do more than one piece at a time. So you're going to set this on the side like this, and I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks out to do this first piece. And we could potentially divide bags up like this. Right now I'm not doing it just yet. This was a bag that was left over that I found on the floor before I left on Friday, or Thursday before I left. So I wasn't in school on Friday because of my surgery. So here's my 6 blocks. You're going to find that some of these blocks are not cut exactly the same as others. Their size is relatively the same, but wood is always constantly moving. It's a live thing even after it's dead. So what we need to do is we're going to configure this to, I like to glue 2 blocks at a time. Start by putting a little dot just like this. It just turned to be 12 o'clock. I'm trying to keep an eye on my classes too. I'm looking to see if GoGuardian has changed at all. Right now, my internet is kind of slow. We're waiting to get that box right there hooked up. I'm waiting for CenturyLink to call me back. But here we go. Hey, people are starting to come on now. The biggest thing is my internet's being taken up right now because I'm trying to upload somewhat of a larger video. So if I hold this up like this, you can't really see it that closely, but it is slanted ever so slightly. There is an ever so slight slant to it. So you just have to pay attention to that. We might have to redo some things. So that little dab of glue that I put on, I squeezed super tight and wiped off the edges. Wiped the edges off so that our sides are what's called flush. So it should be even from edge to edge. It should be an even surface that's lined up with each other, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna set that right there. We're gonna add to it. Where's my glue at? Here it is. Try not to spill glue in my brand new chair that we just got. My wife felt bad for me. I was sitting over there in the corner where that big pillow is, right over there. And she felt bad because I was struggling to try to get up and in and out of that corner. So we just purchased this brand new recliner. That's a pretty sweet thing. It's got cup holders on both sides, storage on both sides, which you might have seen on some of the previous videos. So as I squeeze that, I'm gonna go like this. You might want to get a paper towel when you're starting to do this to keep from getting glue spread all over the place, all over the shop. If they do come apart, try to put them back together quickly and hold them there just for a little bit. As this glue begins to cure, so when the glue gets exposed to oxygen, it goes through what's called a curing process, which basically means that it just gets pretty hard. And it will absorb and soak into the fibers of the wood, and then once it hardens, it'll become permanent. That's exactly how the parts were permanently put together in the little candy machine that we made. So right now, as you can see, I'm building onto this. We're going to continue going one more block this way, and then we'll start building up with it. Oh, my internet must be... I might have ran out of data, because I only get a certain amount of data each week. You're looking at the background of my phone. Nothing really important to worry about. Hey, look, there's somebody on there. Maybe people forgot their Chromebooks in their lockers or something. I'm guessing that could be the case. One thing to take a look at if you're looking at the blocks, so I don't know if you can see it completely, but there's two different grains. We have an end grain, which is basically, if you think of like if you had a bunch of straws together, the very end of the straws would be the end grain, and the sides of the straws would be the side grain. And so right now, every single block is going to have 2 grains or 2 end grains and then 4 side grains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here are your end grains on where my fingers are touching. And then the side grains are right there on that. That's something to kind of pay attention to as I'm gluing. I'm trying to keep all of the side grains and end grains together as best I can. So we have our side grains here. Then we're switching our direction of our side grains to go this way. It sometimes matters and makes a difference. Let's see what somebody said. Who asked a question? Someone here asked a question. I need to find out who it is. We can pause and take this stuff out as we go. Someone's asking a question. Who is it? How do I know who's asking a question? Wayne is asking. Good deal. Okay. Let's get back to this. It might be difficult to try to do this. I'm going to have to try to re-record. We'll see how it goes after this. Now that kids are starting to get more active. Oops, I should probably put that in a cup holder so I don't keep dropping it. After I get this part made, I'll stop the video and take a look at it and see how the recording is looking. I don't often wear a GoPro. I have done some demonstration videos that I end up just kind of talking to myself through. But I want to get this part made before I stop it. Okay, I got that one done. Now we're going to do... Like, I need to put a message on there for them to focus on their first intro assignment and not the project, not the second project that we have. Looks like most of them are starting the intro. They're starting their house, their simple house. And hold it tight until everything squeezes out. I want to make sure that we are flush and the blocks are lined up. I need to put a little bit more glue on this one. Yep, I need to put a little bit more glue on. So you don't need much. I'm trying to use as little as I can get away with, but you need to use enough for it to stick together. That's probably more than enough right there. I want to show you another trick to clean out the edges once I have it all the way cleaned up all the way around. Just like this, I want to make sure the end is flush. I'm going to squeeze it so it doesn't move. Okay. Do you see this little extra, the little extra glue that's in that corner? You can take a separate block and put the separate block next to it, and you can use this to help clean out that corner. Notice that there's a little bit of a gap, that the blocks aren't cut dead square. They're cut pretty close, but they're not 100% square. But you can use these blocks to get the majority of the glue out of the corners so that it sits tight. And the more you let it sit before you move it around and before you add another one to it, the better it's going to be. So take your time when you're putting these together. Go slow, make sure things stay lined up, and you'll be in good shape. I'm going to put another one on here like this, and then we'll check my playback. I'll play it back on the GoPro to see how it goes before I continue making the next piece. Okay, I'm going to go like this. See how it slides around a little bit? It's not a terrible thing for it to happen, because then you'll make sure you get good contact all the way around. Glue takes you probably got about 2 minutes of work time once you put the glue on, because of the type of wood glue that we're using. Just like that. Everything is flush. Try to keep it from moving too much. Keep everything flush. Just like that. That piece is done. Now we'll check and see how it looks.